What's good, people? It's about that time to randomly relate reverse rants, no hate. So I have a question for you guys, and I want you to flood the comment section with your opinions on this. And I'm talking about one particular fighter. Let me know what you think. Do you agree with Roy Jones Jr.? Roy Jones Jr. said Miguel Cotto is not an all-time great fighter. He's a great Puerto Rican fighter. Okay? He's limited to only being a good Puerto Rican fighter, not all around. Now, there's a video I saw a while ago where Miguel Cotto was compared to Felix Trinidad. Different people. I put their names up there. The names you see on the thumbnail. And he said no. And he said, his fights where I failed and stuff like that. Now, all of them have losses. All of them. Okay? But let's think about something. Let me look into something real quick. I want to pull up something about Miguel Cotto while I'm talking to you guys, because everybody has their opinions, but there's lesser fighters I noticed that people give credit to, like that I don't feel was as good as Miguel Cotto. Now, we know that Miguel Cotto, he beat Sergio Martinez. Now, yeah, Sergio Martinez was at the end of his career, but he was still in there. That's his problem. Now the thing about that was Miguel Cotto and Freddie Roach both said, we think that, we got Miguel Cotto, Sergio Martinez right, we won him. He hadn't looked good his past 2 or 3 fights, and say now the time to fight him, why not? He said this openly. This wasn't leaked footage. And they fought. Miguel Cotto won. Okay. Now, Miguel Cotto is a 4-time champion, 4 weight division champion. And Roy Jones says he was only a good Puerto Rican fighter. Not an all-around, all-time great fighter. That's what he said. Okay. Now, let's look at who he beat. Let's look at 2 names, for example. Let's look at Zab Judah. And let's look at even when he fought Floyd. Roy Jones said when he was trying to discredit Floyd, who Floyd ever beat? Only that was on his level, right? I got the receipts, man. Y'all know this. I'm going to put all that shit together for y'all. But I need to talk to y'all, and it's going to take a lot of time. And pause and then paste and all this. He said the only person that Floyd beat that was on his level was Canelo. Now, the guy talking to him said, well, who do you see? Roy Jones debunked his own comment. He said, this is the same video. If y'all saw it, then y'all know what I'm talking about. The same video where he claimed Floyd ducked Amir Khan and all this bullshit he was talking. He said the only person was Canelo. And then he says, if I'd have waited for somebody to beat James Toney, okay, first of all, his terminology, if I would have waited. Okay. Roy Jones praised Manny Pacquiao, even in his comeback against Mario Barrios. He said, if anybody can come back and do it, I know it's Manny. And, right? Wait a minute. Let's look at something. He said, Floyd Mayweather, when a dude named Miguel Cotto, he said, Miguel Cotto was finished when Floyd fought him. He was old, he's washed up, right? He was finished. You know how old Miguel Cotto was when he fought Floyd Mayweather? He was 31. You know how old Floyd was? He's 35. But somehow Miguel was finished. Okay. Notice how all of Floyd Mayweather's opponents got old. Somehow he stayed 20-something years old. He he didn't age like everybody else. He basically just, picked and choose, too small or too old. This has always been this bullshit lie. if we even went by Roy Jones' logic, you're trying to say he only fought one person in Canelo. The only fucking fighter Roy ever talked about, he tell you to this day, the best fighter he beat was James Toney. To this day. Remember, he said he tried everything against James Toney. Nothing was working. Then he did that chicken fighting stuff. And he went for it and he got the little flash knockdown against James. Okay, cool. Look at what Canelo career went and look what James Toney career went. Right? So wait. Why is Floyd never an old man in the fight? Why is Floyd always picking and choosing and somehow he just manipulates the system? So wait. Two things that Roy Jones talked about his whole career. He don't even talk about beating Bernard Hopkins, really. All he talked about is beating James Toney and the accomplishment of winning the World Heavyweight Championship. You ever heard him talk about John Ruiz? Could Roy Jones sit here and tell y'all John Ruiz was a great champion? Because the whole rest of the heavyweight division knows that John Ruiz was garbage. The fans know he was trash. Here you are. What is Roy Jones? 5'11", 5'10", whatever. He's fighting a dude 6'1", 6'2", 6'3", whatever, and 230-something pounds or whatever it was, whatever. And he's fighting Roy Jones like Roy Jones is the big guy. He's not imposing his will. You heard George Foreman in the fight saying thing. You got to go out there and you got to charge him and bump him and bump him. You can't sit back and wait on this little guy. And that's how he fought. And what did Larry Merchant say? That's who John Ruiz is. That's why Roy Jones picked him. Of course. Because Chris Bird and Lennox Lewis is two different animals. Now, wasn't they? Now, him saying Miguel Cotto is only a good Puerto Rican, or Puerto Rican great only. Okay. That's what he said, though. Now, when he fought Zab Judah, let me see. Well, him and Zab Judah are like close in age. They both were in their 20s at that time, something like that. Now, here's the funny thing, right? Miguel Cotto, when he fought Canelo was 25, and Miguel was 35. What I find really funny about that is the same exact thing. At 31, he was finished, but 35, he's still fighting, and he's in there fighting against Canelo. Look at his record. He was 40-4. Canelo was 45-1-1, 32 knockouts. Cotto had 33 knockouts. So this is clearly animosity towards Floyd to try to take credit away from his opponents. So this is one of the reasons why I look at people too, like when they say, like, for example, did you see the video that I put up? The face-off between Floyd Mayweather and Sugar Shane. A couple of things stood out to me in that. One, did you see hear the part when, that's why I got to refresh your memories, because the lies are being told. When Floyd was telling him, from the outside looking in, see y'all looking, think, oh, that's easy. And Shane goes, nah, I'm too old for that. And Floyd, nah, don't say you old. Don't say, no, I'm sorry. No, I'm not too old for the fight game. No. Okay. So what else does he do? He says, Max Kellerman asked Shane, and this is something you never hear people talk about. Never. He asked him about the fight with Floyd, seeing as how you did everything in your power to get a fight with Pacquiao. You agreed to all his terms and everything, and they won't even talk to you. But you don't hear people going around saying Pacquiao ducked Shane Mosley. You don't hear people going around there saying Pacquiao didn't want that smoke with Shane Mosley. Here's what's funny. Pacquiao didn't fight him then, right? Who fought Shane and beat him first? Floyd. Then who fought him next? Pacquiao. Who gave Ricky Hatton his first loss? Floyd. Who fought him afterwards? Pacquiao. Who beat and fought Oscar De La Hoya first? Floyd. Then Pacquiao. Ricky Hatton was undefeated and was knocking everybody out. After Floyd beat him, he ain't shit. So what happened? He got better when he fought against Pacquiao. So if he wasn't shit, why would Pacquiao fight him? Oscar De La Hoya was old. But wait, he fought Floyd first and fought Pacquiao later. Funny thing is this, right? When Shane Mosley fought Floyd, he was 38. When he fought Pacquiao, he was 39. When this motherfucker fought Canelo, he was 40. When he fought Margarito, right, it said he was 37. Okay? So he knocks out Margarito, right? He does what he does with Margarito. I'm going to do a part 2 to this video because I'm going to put the receipts for you, okay? He talks about destroying Margarito. And so basically everybody was scared of the big bad Margarito. Shane whooped his ass. Okay, cool. Now, here's the funny thing. Shane gets his ass whooped by Floyd and Pacquiao. Now, another fighter that they fought was Marquez. Marquez gave Pacquiao a tough fight every time and then knocked him out. And one of those fights out of the other three, a whole lot of people felt like Marquez won, that he was robbed. But people don't bring that up. But they always, let's find something to throw at Floyd. So wait, you mean to tell me a person can say, how come Floyd didn't fight Winky Wright? How come Pacquiao didn't fight Winky Wright? How come Floyd didn't fight Kell Brook? How come Pacquiao didn't fight Kell Brook? How come Floyd, he didn't fight Amir Khan? How come Pacquiao didn't fight Amir Khan? And remember, he was calling both of them out for years. And that's why even like, for example, look at him and Andre Berto. Is there a clear winner between Amir Khan and Berto? No. Because one thing that we know, they both get dropped. Okay? They both got some kind of power. But I feel like Berto has a much stronger punch than Amir Khan does. But at the same time, both 3-time champions and both had 3 losses. You understand what I'm saying? No clear winner between the two of them. Floyd fought Zab Judah. Pacquiao didn't fight Zab Judah. I think Pacquiao beat Zab Judah, but he didn't fight him. Okay. There's a guy who I forget is what do you call himself, Gambino or something. It's funny. He's making videos. A whole lot of people now are talking about the same shit that I'm talking about. Yeah. He has a nice breakdown in his video because he does similar things in me. I just came across this guy yesterday. He has, and I love this because this is the facts. See, ARIES is not speaking to you with opinion. I'm giving you facts. And that's why I'm making a part 2 to this, because I'm going to give you receipts. I got so much to talk about because so many people get false information and they show me that they believe this shit. So hear this. He has, I forgot who it was. Floyd had just fought. And Floyd is saying, there's a rumor that Oscar De La Hoya is coming to 147. I want, I would like to fight Shane Mosley, and I want to fight Oscar De La Hoya. Now, outside of the ring, Jalen Lampley and Roy Jones are talking. Y'all can put, this is stuff y'all can pull up. This is what I be saying. Y'all don't have to make things hard on yourselves by trying to sit here and put up arguments or get in your feelings, which I don't give a fuck anyway. All you gotta do is look up and you'll see, damn, ARIES really just be telling the truth about shit. We just act stupid and act less than a man and act like little kids because this dude is giving us truth. Of course, liars always hate the truth. Jim Lampley said, for Oscar De La Hoya and Shane Mosley, I don't think they're going to want to fight. And it's not the first time we've heard commentators say that. I don't think they're really going to want to fight Floyd Mayweather at this point. I mean, they was talking about how good he is. Do you know what Roy Jones said? He said, yeah, because they got everything to lose and nothing to gain, because at this point, Floyd was on the come up. He was making a name for himself. But check this out. He said, plus they got a lot because they're going to lose a lot of money. Roy Jones was talking money, money, money. Jim Lampley was talking money, money, money. This is the same dude that's almost 60 years old that told y'all, come in and back out. We love to fight more than we love the money. Now, you rather fight. That goes to show you're not smart, even now. You rather fight for a fucking belt. Them worthless ass belts. Like Floyd said, them belts don't do nothing but collect dust. I could sit here and show y'all my belt collection of motherfuckers' asses I done whooped and the shit I done did my shit. I'm proud of my work. But that doesn't define who I am as a human being. When you mature and grow up, you realize that shit. You realize, like, it's just something I accomplished, but it's not, nothing that I don't care. You understand what I'm saying? My sons are more proud about it and talk about it more, and I don't really, whatever. But here's the deal. Everything is about money when it comes to sports. Like him talking about he'd fight Floyd for free and all. It's easy to talk when you really don't expect a person. You realize Floyd ain't thinking about you. Floyd is on his yacht chilling with a bunch of females and whoever got people with him while you sitting up here making rap videos. What's that verse he said in his new song? What'd he say? Talking about they hating on my name because I'm legendary. Then he says some shit about they about talking shit. I'm about starting shit. Damn, this 60-year-old man out here rapping like you 16, trying to start shit. Yeah, like you started this shit with Floyd. See, Roy Jones has made comments in the past talking about how he got goons and how like I was one of the people when in Dubai when they was trying to get Floyd. I'm like, hey, if you need help, you know what I'm saying? I can help him. Cause I'm that. Okay, so wait, 1 minute you want to help a guy, the next minute you want to talk shit about him. Bring his daddy into it and all that, right? The Mayweather family is not like my family, because you say something about somebody, you got beef with anybody in my family, you got beef with me too. Ain't no motherfucking, well, you know that, nah. But at the same time, nobody's walking around still trying to be a fucking teenager. It's like he's always trying to prove how tough he is and how fearless he is. You ain't the only one, Roy. So my whole thing with all of that is, for you to hate Floyd so much, and that's why you always find yourself, it's not that I don't like Floyd. You have to keep saying it because you don't want to look like the hater that you are. So now all of a sudden, Miguel Cotto is not a great fighter. Out of all his accomplishments, you're going to shit on him because you hate Floyd so much and you want to try to take credibility away, but you can't. You can't. And also, let me correct some bullshit. If you look at that face-off, what year was that? When they fought. They fought in 2010. Shane and Floyd fought in 2010. Now check this out. What did he say? Floyd is the face of boxing, and how people was predicting one would be the face of boxing and the other one also be great or whatever, and that other one was Shane Mosley. So Floyd was already, do you understand? Do you see what I mean, how full of shit Max Kellerman is? Max Kellerman was the one that sat here and told y'all. Now mind you, he's the one at the face-off. He's the same guy that told y'all Roy Jones was so great that when they were fighting at the same time, nobody was talking about Floyd Mayweather. Okay, wait a minute. Floyd Mayweather was on the come up. Okay, Roy Jones is considerably older. He's at least 10 years older or more than Floyd. Okay, but they don't tell you that. So wait, at one point, Sonny Liston, Floyd Patterson was the talk of the town. Ali was on the come up. Remember when they asked Muhammad Ali, was he ready to fight a Sonny Liston or a Floyd Patterson? He said, no, maybe about another year or two, and then I'll be ready for both of them in about a year or two. And he damn sure was. So my point is, when Ali is coming up, when he starts to trash talking and doing things to get attention, that's when they start to take notice of, nah, this big mouth nigga, he ain't no. So everybody had to come up. I can remember, see, y'all can't tell me shit. If you don't, I remember when they even had Pernell Whitaker and Roy Jones sitting right next to each other. They was talking about the top pound for pound best fighter. And let me explain something to y'all. And what Max Kellerman didn't tell you. Now, personally, I like Roy Jones as a fighter. I never really cared much about Oscar De La Hoya. But I could explain this, say this. Roy Jones was never the cash cow. He was never the face of boxing, so to speak. Oscar De La Hoya was the star, not Roy. Pernell Whitaker lost to Oscar, and he lost to Trinidad. So when you talking about the top five, Oscar was number one, and Oscar was rated as the best fighter, pound for pound, over Roy Jones. Facts, not my opinion. Facts. Verbally, people were saying it's Roy. You understand what I'm saying? Verbally. You go back and we can pull up the rankings. Roy Jones was never the top star in boxing. Not at no point in time. He got a lot of attention. He had a lot of flash, a lot of flair. And Roy Jones was a solid dude in the ring. But Oscar was that guy. You see at the face-off, remember something. Pernell Whitaker and Oscar fought in 97. Roy Jones got knocked out by Tarver in 2004 or something like that. So this is what I'm saying. Before Floyd took the throne, it was not Roy, it was Oscar. So even with Oscar losing to Bernard Hopkins, it didn't matter. So Roy Jones, because of Oscar losing, okay, so cool. Let's say they put him in the mix. Roy Jones was getting criticized of the opponents he was fighting. Same video. The part that y'all didn't see is when he's saying, well, I got to split 50-50 with him. I beat him. The interviewer said, I don't think Bernard Hopkins would think much of your opponent tonight. He said, he ain't got to think much of him. And this and that, that shit, he started biting his finger. Yeah, he did that shit. And this is what I'm telling you. And they labeled Roy as a fighter who wanted to hit you, get your respect, and then put on a show. And with the caliber of opponents he's fighting, he can do that. And that's when Jim Lampley said, Roy Jones is one of the top 5 smartest people I know. He said, look at the amount of money he's made without having to take the risks. Now, I'm bringing this to you guys' attention because you guys believe falsehoods. What else do I want to talk to you guys about, man? What do I need to read to y'all? What do I need to read to you guys? There's so many things that I've seen already. So many things that, okay. Now, let me read this to you. I said it in my last video, but I want to read it to you. And I remember seeing the video. I remember hearing Ray Leonard say this. For the people that said things like, I want to read this word for word to you. For the people that said they give Ray Leonard the edge because, God, remember, Floyd had brittle hands. Sugar Ray Leonard explicitly mentioned having trouble with fragile hands as a boxer. He described soaking them in ice and ice water due to the pain they caused during fights, stating the pain in his hands was worse than the punches to the head. This made him initially hesitant to turn professional, with his primary focus being on achieving an Olympic goal as an amateur. Now, I'm nobody's fan, but I know these things about these. I remember hearing these videos, seeing these videos and everything. So it behooves me that people make comments about one fighter, but don't realize the same fighter that they're giving an advantage to had problems in that same department. So what edge goes to Ray Leonard with fragile hands of Floyd when he had them too? I'm giving you facts. That's what grown-ups do. We don't make lies up over here. That's what honest people do. What else do I want to touch on in this video? But I want y'all to comment on Miguel Cotto. Okay, I don't see how you a 4-weight division 4-time champion and he put Zab Judah. In fact, in that video, you know what Roy Jones said? I would like to see Floyd fight like a Zab Judah. Miguel Cotto beat Zab Judah. Look at the fighters that beat. See, this is what I'm saying. The fighters that Roy praised, that he's cool with, got their ass whooped by Floyd. Then they got their ass whooped by people that Floyd whooped their ass as well. Look, I'm not stupid. Everybody can see this man's hatred for Floyd. I don't care who like Floyd or don't like him. If you like Roy or don't, I don't care about none of that shit. It's the principle. The same way how I was the one defending Roy's position when people was telling me, he's like, Aries, Roy flashy and got flair and all, like, yeah, he got speed, got a little power and all, but like, yo, Roy ain't fighting nobody. You guys know, I'm not telling you some conversation I overheard in some fucking cafe. I'm telling you, these are the conversations, because these dudes was like, Roy couldn't beat Ray Leonard. He couldn't beat, like, Hagler would destroy this dude. Duran would do this, Hearns would do that. Yo, he ain't beat nobody. That's why he got to fight leftovers like Virgil Hill. He can't fuck with none of them and blah, blah, blah. Nobody wanted to have. In fact, there was a guy at the time named Prince Charles Williams. He was fighting at light heavyweight. And I remember they was like, yo, Prince Charles Williams would knock Roy out. I'm like, yo, I don't really personally care. But we know for sure if the fights happen. But at that time, Roy was fighting at 160 pounds. Prince Charles Williams is a dude I liked as a fighter. I don't think he beats Roy. Okay, James Toney fought Charles Williams when he was like older and pretty much, beat him. But at the same time, I clearly was the guy people was telling me Roy couldn't beat this. And I'm like, yo, I'm not going around here talking about who he can and can't beat from the past. I'm only focused on who he can fight right now. But at the same time, let's look at the eye test. You can't deny Roy's skills. This is what I'm telling him. And even if I think he can beat these guys, I'm not telling you, oh, he definitely can. No, I don't know that. I'm just telling you what I think. They hated Roy. When the best names on your resume is James Toney, Bernard Hopkins, Virgil Hill, Mike McCallum, a 39-year-old washed-up Mike McCallum that went the distance with you. Let Roy Jones tell it, he held back. He even said, he said he was, did as a favor, gave him a fight, but he was trying to hold back. They said Mike hit him with something, he had to let him know, like, all right, man, like, calm it down. So, you understand what I'm saying? That's the best 4 names on your whole resume. Now, I got to go with Tarver as well because Tarver knocked him out, okay? Beat him twice. But that's my point. That's the best dudes on your resume. And the biggest accomplishment of going from, the weight you came from, like middleweight, starting initially at junior middleweight, but then going up, yeah. Nobody's trying to take nothing away from Roy Jones. See, the problem with Roy Jones is he tries to make his accomplishments like it was something special. Roy Jones, the way he beat his opponents, all the entertainment and that shit, it's the way he did it, not who he did it. Same way with Mike Tyson. It's not he beat great opponents. It's the way he beat them. Okay? Just like motherfucking Wilder said, it's the way I knock a motherfucker out. But the caliber of fighters you're fighting, okay. This is exactly my point. Jones is the one that said he picked Deontay over Joshua because he felt like Joshua don't believe in himself. Who has a way better resume? So how come the resumes don't matter when it comes to them two? You see what I'm saying? you're being selective with who's better than who based on if you like the motherfucker or not. So for Miguel Cotto, 4-time four weight division champion, motherfucker who came from 140 and went to middleweight as well, and you keep bragging about going to heavyweight fighting bum ass John Ruiz, but you take credit for Miguel Cotto. So Miguel Cotto was not an all-time great. He's just a great Puerto Rican fighter. So Puerto Rican fighters are reduced to just, okay, you only good in Puerto Rico. You're not good worldwide. And when you look at his record, let me see something here. Let me see something here. Maybe I might pull it up. Let me see if I can pull this shit up. Let me see if I can pull this up. Because like my thing is, I don't care how he see now. I don't care how he see Miguel Cotto personally, but I know why he's doing what he's doing. And in fact, why don't Roy Jones have a problem with what James Toney said? Y'all know what James Toney said? He said, "Get me wrong, he's like Muhammad Ali, great fighter, but the only two fighters that was born to fight, me and Sugar Ray Robinson." That's what he said. So that's including your ass too, Roy Jones. He don't see you as born to fight. He don't see Muhammad Ali as born to fight. You said Floyd don't respect his elders, but you see my point. You got nothing to say to James Toney. And James Toney also said, plain and simple, if he would have trained for you, we would have never heard of him. But you got no response. Okay. Damn, this shit is so small. So Miguel Cotto, Felix Trinidad, Carlos Ortiz, Wilfredo Gomez, and Hector Camacho. This shit is so small, I got it up here. I'm doing this all on my phone, y'all. See, the thing about it, all of them have more than one loss. Like, it's like between 3 to 6 losses for these guys, right? Regardless to the wins and the losses and all, Miguel Cotto is just humble. You know what I'm saying? He's humble. He's not like, oh, it's not like he said, I don't think he's not even for me to say. Like other people will say if you're great or not. And I agree and disagree with that. But that's, whatever. And I agree because if you know who you are, you ain't got shit to prove to nobody. You ain't concerned about how people rate you. I disagree with the fact that a lot of biased people will say things just because. You understand what I'm saying? So people will try to take credit away from you based on what? Here's a case of, I can't give Floyd credit, so I'm going to discredit him. And then Roy debunked his own words. Y'all saw that fucking interview, right? Remember when the guy said, so who do you see? Because Roy said, he made the stupidest argument. And I'm like, how the fuck old is this guy, man? He said, he's like, I'm not saying who could beat Roy, who would have beat Floyd. I'm just saying he did it wrong, because that shit made no sense. First of all, he wasn't always at 147, which is something Roy's saying to overlook. He was at the smaller weight classes. Do you know these dudes didn't want to fight him? Like Roy out of his own mouth said, they got everything to lose and nothing to gain because Floyd hadn't made his stamp yet as far as he hadn't become the star yet. And he was dangerous. And pretty much the same thing when he called out, he said, I would like to fight Prince Nassim Hamed. Larry Bird said, this was after he destroyed Diego Corrales. I doubt very seriously that, Prince Nassim Hamed wants to fight you after seeing that performance. Okay. I clearly remember Frank Warren saying, Floyd Mayweather is the greatest fighter I've ever seen. Greater than Ali, Sugar Ray, all of them. See, their story changed when they had bad blood. It's like, for example, you remember when Roy Jones was trying to get Jared Anderson he's talking about how boxing is innocent. You got to take that ride and this and that and go, God is this and God put us, all that shit. You see that little moment they shared? Now check this out. let's say Jared Anderson knocked out Anthony Joshua. Then let's say Fury come out of retirement, he knocked out Fury, right? And now let's say, for example, or let's say after that he knocks out Deontay Wilder. Now, and then let's say after that he knocks out Dillian White. And let's say Roy Jones was even in his corner. Then they have a falling out. And let's just say, for example, it was a bad falling out. And Jared Anderson said something. They asked, "Do you think you were greater than Roy Jones or something?" And he said, "Yeah, I think I got better, and I feel like once I got, of course, I was better. I feel like I was better than anybody." You think Roy Jones wouldn't say, "Yo, first of all, I tried to give him something he didn't have. You know what I'm saying? Because he didn't believe in himself. How you gonna be greater than me?" And let's say, and it's falling out, he says, only thing Roy Jones did was beat James Toney and went to heavyweight and got an accomplishment. But other than that, who's on? I mean, look at the names on his resume, right? And wait, the same way how Max Kellerman was trying to tell you nobody knew who Floyd was. Well, nobody knew who the fuck Tarver was, and Tarver knocked Roy the fuck out. So your point was what? Andre Ward told a story about how he saw after he was at a press conference or something after Roy had beat Ruiz. And I remember that shit. And Tarver comes in there and start talking shit. "You've been ducking me all this time and this and this." And we were like, "No, I'm going to whoop you. Or we're going to make that happen." "Oh, right?" He says, he's like, "No, Roy, no. I'm going to give you the receipts." Because he didn't think it was a good idea for Roy to come back, go down and then fight this guy. See, Roy's ego. See, y'all say, the heart, it's the heart. No, it's the ego. It's the stupidity. Well, let me show you something, all right? And him saying all of that shit, I'm talking about Floyd. He would say the same thing about Jared Anderson if that was to happen. First of all, I'm talking to him. He didn't even believe in himself. I believed in him more than he believed in himself. What would he be saying? Anthony Joshua was washed up when he beat him. Deontay Wilder was washed up when he beat him. How you gonna say he better than me, right? Fury was retired. Fury lost to Usyk twice. You understand? He would strip Dillian White. He was washed up. Everybody's washed up. Now, here's the thing. AJ might be washed up. I don't know yet. Wilder is washed up. Fury's retired, true. And Dillian White, I feel like, is washed up as well. So I would agree with him with those situations. So my point is, let's look at who I just named. And we still kind of iffy on AJ. But look at who I just said. Now look at every single person that Floyd fought. And you tell me who was in bad as shape as anybody I just named. Now, Fury walking away after losing to Usyk twice, okay, whatever. But you understand what I'm saying? Man, if we say he went through 23 fucking champions, and how many did Roy beat? Okay, so for him to sit here and try to shit on Miguel Cotto and say Miguel Cotto is only a Puerto Rican great, I'm just saying, then if you're going to shit on Miguel Cotto, you can't brag about no opponent you fought, because Miguel Cotto was more accomplished than Antonio Tarver, John Ruiz. You understand what I'm saying? Hopkins is up there with title wins and stuff, and you know, but Hopkins and here's the thing, Hopkins and James Toney. You see how Hopkins had hold and shit. He throw them little slap punches and hold you and do like he won ugly fights. Okay, what we know that Bernard Hopkins couldn't handle speed. He couldn't handle the jab and movement. We already know that about Hopkins. But my point is, you only got two motherfuckers. I tell you what, if you look at James Toney wins and losses and the fact that he was lazy and the fact that he depended on his boxing skills to where he didn't think he had to be in shape, you can sit here and say what you want, but I tell you what, you can take all of Floyd Mayweather's opponents and say pound for pound, how many of them do you think Hopkins are better than? How many of them do you think that James Toney is better than? People who don't know what the fuck they talking about will only go with the guys that they know. So we talking about Canelo, we talking about Oscar, we talking about Pacquiao, we talking about Shane, we talking about Miguel Cotto, we talking about Zab Judah, we talking about Angel Manfredi, we talking about Sean Bateman, so it's a whole lot of people on that list. 23 fucking champions. You understand what I'm saying? When you want to talk about accomplishments, it's just like LeBron talking, using the term, oh, this is ring culture because he don't have more rings than Kobe and Jordan. So whatever stats that he passed of Kobe and the few that he passed with of Michael is because of the 5 extra years he's been in the league, right? Because I think Kobe played, 16 years and Jordan played 15. This motherfucker going on 20. So it took you 5 extra years to catch any of Mike's stats. He didn't catch any of them when he was at his 15th year. You see, it took 5 extra. So he's trying to use where, he has they talk about the advantage of, he had longevity and he, all this more durable. Like, bro, come on, man. I ain't never seen nobody get an award for durability and longevity of all this bullshit. They don't mean nothing about nothing. He never three-peated either. So the things that he knows is in his favor and the fact that he doesn't have as many rings, who the fuck gets in go to the NBA and don't want to become champion? You understand what I'm saying? So that's what the fuck he's doing. So, yeah, man. And that's what I'm saying. Look at Shane's accomplishments. Look at Pacquiao's accomplishments. Now you brag about the only guy to win championships in 8 divisions, right? And Floyd beat him. How many 8 division champions did you beat? You see the point? What I'm saying? He knows he pales in comparison. And for me, the eye test, y'all think certain things will work on every fighter. It's not always what you think. It might seem like it, but when you really see a fighter don't really understand, when you're fighting a complete all-around fighter with no weaknesses versus a guy that has weaknesses, which is exactly why y'all can be here on the come up, and then all of a sudden you stop right here and that person keep going and keep going and keep going. And then your biased fans go, from this year to this year, this guy was unbeatable. No, you got to look at a fighter's whole career. And you know why they don't want to look at your whole career? Because one motherfucker's 50-0, 23 KOs. The other one has 10 losses, and everybody else has multiple losses. Facts, y'all. I'm talking to the adults here. I don't hear nothing from you little fucking kids. Make me curse you the fuck out. Come find your ass or something. Anyway, talk to me about Miguel Cotto. And I'm giving y'all nothing but facts. Of course, if you look at the thumbnail, you can see their records. That's what I got up there. All their records, wins, losses, knockouts, draws, whatever. And these are the other Puerto Rican boxers that he was compared to in that video. In fact, this is the reason why I do what I do, man, because I just give you guys truth. And we talk about real shit. I'm not with all this dramatic bullshit that everybody else is doing, man. But hey, you know what? This is what shit has become, but I refuse to be a part of it. That's what it's coming to. Let's just make any fucking video glazing people and putting people down just because that's what everybody else is doing. Let's jump on that bandwagon. That's not what I do. Talk to me in the comment section about Miguel Cotto. Do y'all agree that he's only a great Puerto Rican fighter, or is Miguel Cotto a great all-around fighter? I vote he's a great all-around fighter. And there's no fucking way that you can put Zab Judah in the mix or Shane Mosley in the mix and not put Miguel Cotto in, especially when he beat both of them. And then he's going to make excuses about age. In fact, another thing, did you see the video of Shane Mosley when he was being interviewed? And this is when Floyd was about to come back and fight Conor McGregor. Now, mind you, Shane and Floyd fought in 2010. 2016, that's when the interview was. and they asked him, who do you see giving Floyd his toughest fight when they come back? He said, me, definitely. And he said he couldn't find anybody else that he think would beat Floyd. But as far as giving him his toughest fight, when he mentioned what's his face, Canelo Alvarez, he said Canelo Alvarez didn't fight him right. And if he had fought him right, maybe he, give him a good fight. That's what he said. But him himself, he put himself in the mix and said him. Now, question. If he was too old, which you heard him sit here on that video and say, no, his age had nothing to do with it. Like, what did he say? He said that he was not too old for the fight game. But then he turns around and uses age as an excuse. Well, if you were too old then, in 2010, what would make you think that in 2016, you'd be able to do anything with him then? So this is why when people talk and then time goes by, y'all forget what was said. Y'all repeat what people say, but y'all don't understand what came out these people's mouths. So when you hear Shane Mosley sit up and say that he's not too old for the fight game, but then turn around and make this crap about Floyd waiting for him to get old, and that's why I do what I do. Because like I said, people forget what was actually said. People forget what was actually going on at that time. And so when you speak, a lot of times we can get the timelines wrong. We remember things somewhat, and my thing was, look at how confident Shane Mosley was talking, right? Well, when he got in there and got his ass whooped, I'm going to attach everything because I just want y'all to see the bullshit. The excuses. He said that he had a groin injury when he fought Floyd. Now, like a dumbass, he claimed he went snowboarding or whatever, and he did some jump and landed wrong, and so he had a groin injury. And then when he fought Pacquiao, some other dumb shit, he's playing basketball or something or whatever. Oh, and he tore his Achilles tendon and got surgery, and then a couple months later he was fighting Pacquiao. Like, bro, it's always a fucking excuse with you motherfuckers, man. And what pisses them off is because you can pull up all these different videos, and all you hear is excuses as to why you lost to Floyd Mayweather, why you lost to this guy, why you lost to that guy. And it's pissing you off because Floyd ain't lose to none of y'all. So I just feel like, and for Roy to sit here and talk about disrespecting people, he don't think his comments are disrespectful, but it's disrespectful when somebody responds to him. And the funny thing, even when Roy said, oh, I still didn't see. This is what he said about Floyd. He said he didn't see the video because if he see it, it's going to make him want to go to Floyd's house. I'm like, Roy, seriously? Seriously, Negro? I didn't know. I didn't see it. Somebody told me that, you know what I'm saying? He said something. He ain't see. You a fucking lie. He ain't say a damn thing. All he did was sit there and watch you get knocked the fuck out. This is exactly what I be talking about, y'all. Y'all complain when we got dirty judges, when we got dirty referees. Y'all complain when certain fighters say things and get out of pocket, but then at the same time, it's like y'all think that this is just dramatic talk. Nah, this ain't no gossip here. This is real talk. Okay, now I can see it better. So Miguel Cotto, 41 wins. Oh, come on, stop sending me notifications. As soon as I get ready to read the motherfucker, notification pop up. 41 wins, 6 losses, no draws, 35 KOs. Felix Trinidad, 42 wins, 3 losses, 35 KOs. Carlos Ortiz, 61 wins, 7 losses, 1 draw, 30 KOs. Wilfredo Gomez, 44 wins, 3 losses, 1 draw, 42 KOs. Hector Camacho, 79 wins, 6 losses, 3 draws, 38 KOs. So, yeah, man, it's what I'm saying. They all have multiple losses, and a good, winning streak too. Now, who all they beat? Let me tell you, man, let's stop playing these games. None of these fighters fought nothing but killers. That's bullshit. Everybody want to build somebody to be larger than life And that's the purpose of you building people, so you can sell them, so you can sell their image, so you can make money off of them. They're nothing but human beings. I look in the ring, I don't see no superhuman. I don't see nothing that can't be humanly done, that is impossible for humans to do. No, I just see human beings that some people are good at certain things, some people are great at certain things, but I see a bunch of egotistical motherfuckers that think that you're supposed to kiss their ass, and if you don't, then something's wrong with you. No. Personally, they're all just human beings to me. So when y'all are sitting there worshiping, bowing, nah, they're just fighters. That's all. And in fact, if you were superhuman, you wouldn't have a point where you're getting knocked out by journeymen and struggling to beat guys that you normally would have beat. So let's stop all the capping. Anyway, talk to me about Miguel Cotto. Let me know. Great all-around fighter, only a great Puerto Rican fighter, like Roy Jones said. Never fall in love with lies. Remember, the truth brings hate out of people, and I will catch y'all on the next video.